Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Michael's Corner. Um, I hope you guys are having a great Mother's Day. Um, I am so excited to bring on this guest that I've been wanting to bring on for so long. Curt Gadden. Um, I wanted to bring him on to my show on Mother's Day. So we get so that we can talk about some stuff and whatnot because he'll be our first interview since November of 2016. So first, before I bring on my guest, um, I would like to give some shout outs to my favorite wrestling podcasts. First is the State of Pro Wrestling. You you can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So make sure you check my friends out whenever you can. And also the Wrestle Talk podcast. And you can find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And finally, um, I'm going to give a shout out to my friends on Discussion Pro Wrestling. That's a Facebook group that I recently joined months ago. And I'll be putting content on that Facebook group page as well. So I want to give a shout out to them as well. So thank you, State of Pro Wrestling. Yep. Yep. And I totally understand, you've been trying to join my podcast and whatnot, and it's really hard, because of your busy schedule and whatnot. So thank you for that. Thank you for that nice comment. So without a further ado, let's not waste any more time. I want to bring in my guest.
Hey, how's it going, man? Can you see me okay?
Uh, yep, yep, just put up your camera a little bit. There we go. Now I'll see. How's it going?
Oh, it's going well, man. How are you?
It's going good. It's been since, like I said, November of 2016 since we last did our interview.
Yeah, it's been
And
a minute, man.
yeah, we got a lot of catching up to do. So, since that interview, what have you been doing since the last time we chatted?
Oh man, a lot of stuff. In my private life, I'm going to school now. I'm doing that full time. Been, doing the traveling thing for wrestling, doing that all over the place. Still doing the whole martial arts thing, advancing that as much as possible. But yeah, man, I've been staying super busy. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this. What I've been doing as of late, I just continue to do what I love. Is that was to go to wrestling shows, give the heel wrestlers hell. As always. When I'm in Michael mode, I'm just they know me. When I'm in Michael mode, all hell's gonna break loose. Because you never know who I might heckle at or who I'm gonna give a hard time to. So the all the heel wrestlers better watch out and whatnot. So I'm trying to build. as you may have heard, that Michael's Corner is now a brand. So I've been trying to build up my brand, especially during the pandemic. So,
Hmm.
so I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing a lot of editing videos and all that stuff. And I've been, you know, interviewing, bringing in a lot of people, you know. And and the funny thing, and the funny thing about it is, I created this Instagram page
Hmm.
almost a year ago, almost a year ago, and it's been doing fantastic, you know. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and create an Instagram page so
Hmm.
I can do my live streams and do my interviews and whatnot because I just want to stay busy and there's no wrestling shows and I want to give the wrestlers an opportunity to have this platform.
Hmm.
So, like, if they want to talk about stuff, they can let me know by messaging me, and or they can you know contact me or contact my Carol Castle, my good
Hmm.
friend. She's the one that books the interviews and whatnot,
Hmm.
and so and Carol Castle, one thing you should know about her is she is a hard ass worker.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, she is really hard. She works really hard and she wants to stay busy.
Hmm.
So when I told her, I said, you know what? If you can help me out with, the bookings and whatnot, for Michael's Corner, that'll be great. And she's been an awesome help. And I'll also be doing some of my own bookings as well. I've been,
Hmm.
writing to wrestlers to see if they want to come on here and share some stuff with me and whatnot. So
Yeah, you've been definitely been staying busy. Like we talk, through Facebook and stuff like that, and I'm always seeing all the time. You're staying busy too, man. So that's good. That's good stuff.
yeah, yeah, and yes, and we all got busy lives. For me personally, I work at a grocery store. I've been at this particular grocery store for about 15 years.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
remember you've been there for quite a while.
yeah, it's like I gotta do what I gotta do to make money so that I can go to these wrestling shows and buy the wrestlers merchandise because it's
Hmm.
all about the merchandise. And speaking of merchandise, we'll get to that in a moment. We'll get to that in a moment. So now, since that I have a new audience on
Hmm.
my YouTube channel, my first question to you is this: how did you get started in the wrestling?
Oh man, I when I was a little kid, I grew up, loving wrestling. I started watching wrestling. I started kind of watching it here and there, back in the early, WWE or excuse me, WWF era, with Ultimate Warrior and all that stuff. I catch it here and there. I
Hmm.
didn't religiously get into it until WCW came around, and then they started bringing in guys like Sting. Got super hooked on watching Sting, and from there it just kind of spiraled. I just started loving wrestling more and more, and uh, eventually I got introduced to a guy when I was 18 that I was kind of doing some stuff, here and there in the indie scene, and started training with him. Trained with him for a little bit, and kind of got to a point where I'm like, it's time to expand and, learn more from other people because I have a very open mind, especially being in martial arts, that you can't get better unless you keep learning. So from there, I went to Trevor Murdoch's school, started training with Trevor Murdoch, former WWE wrestler, current NWA wrestler. Um, and then started training with Derek Stone after that. Derek Stone was the original head trainer of Harley Race's school. And Derek has trained all kinds of people. Derek was actually Trevor's original trainer. Um, so man, yeah, that's kind of the training story and kind of how I got all started in it. And then from there, like I just try to I'm one of those people, no matter, where I go, no matter what I do, I'm always going to keep trying to learn. So I try to take up seminars and camps and everything I possibly can to keep learning, getting better, because there's always something new to learn. So,
And
yeah.
speaking of seminars, I saw this one wrestler named by the name of Sean Donovan. He I think he may have he sent out the tweet stating that stating something about, wrestling school, some wrestling school is screwing students over, pay, and whatnot, and not getting the proper training that they deserve. And I hope, and I'm sorry to say change the subject, but I but he sent out a tweet, and I just tweeted out I agree with him and what he was saying about wrestling schools screwing students over and stealing money from them. That's just not acceptable.
No, no.
That stuff should not be happening in the wrestling business ever.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you have to be careful kind of in wrestling. There's a lot of shady people, honestly. There's a lot of good people, but there's a lot of shady people too, probably just as much, if not more. Especially, from schools. I've seen schools and people that shouldn't be training people, and
Hmm.
schools that shouldn't be open, with, people that don't have any real credibility. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, that's the same with like promoters. There's promoters out there that just should not be promoting because they're,
Hmm.
unprofessional and, shady and everything else. So, and don't get me wrong, there's even shady wrestlers. So, I mean,
Hmm.
it can be a very, um, you know, shady business as far as,
Hmm.
you need to be careful on who you trust and who you don't trust. And even
Yeah,
sometimes
and you know
people,
something, Kurt? And you know something? I have actually mentioned about this on Facebook, like when I made that announcement that Michael's Corner is gonna become a brand, I
mm,
mentioned a few guys' names. He liked my post, and then all of a sudden he unfriends me.
hmm,
And I was like, I was like, what the hell? And I was at work. I was
yeah.
at work, and like I see my notifications, so I know who likes my stuff and whatnot. And this wrestler just unfriended me. It's
Hmm.
like whatever I did to him.
Yeah, man, it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. The business is crazy. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I've always said I've made more acquaintances than I've made friends. I do have friends, and people that I
Hmm.
trust. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And you, especially with the wrestlers too. Wrestlers, there's a lot of testosterone floating around. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I mean, even don't get me wrong, even the women are involved in in the
Oh,
backstabbing, and having your
yeah,
back up against the wall and stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are all out for each other's spots, and you have to be careful in who you trust, unfortunately, and that's just the way
yeah.
wrestling is, and
And
that's the way
that's
it
the
has been.
reason. And that's the reason why that I try to keep my circle of friends in wrestling kind of small, because it's just like I don't know who I can trust or
Hmm.
who I can trust in the business. I just gotta be careful who I associate myself with, because like you said, there's some shady people out there.
Oh yeah.
And I try my best, keep my mouth shut. But if I see something that I don't like or agree with, you'll hear it from me first before anybody else.
Yeah,
but
there's a little of that.
but yeah, it's just that it's just that it's like I want to touch the subject for a minute because I did see a post that was interesting, and I made a post on Instagram and on Facebook, and I said, you know what, I agree with this wrestler Sean Donovan. You know, I
Hmm.
agree everything what he says. You know, and I had to change the subject for my apologies, but I just gotta get it out there.
Yeah, yeah.
So now my next question to you is, let's get on to the wrestling gear now.
Alrighty.
All right, I've been saving this for a while now, so we gotta I gotta know who made your first wrestling singlet.
Let's see. So there was the original one that I started with. Actually, when I first started, I had just Muay Thai kick or Muay Thai kickboxing shorts, and then I
Okay.
had like a special little tank top made, and it was
Mhm.
just some start off gear. It wasn't anything special.
Mhm.
And then from there, I moved up to a singlet. Eventually, I needed to get more
Oh,
professional
let's
stuff.
talk about the singlet, man.
So the
Oh
first,
my God. When
the
you
first,
first posted that singlet, you heard me. I made a post on your Facebook thing. Remember? And I
yep.
said, oh my God. I was like, well, you look like a badass and you got the ass to show it. And everybody was laughing. Everybody was like, what?
Yeah, the first one was made by a company out here. I'm from Kansas City, so I'm out. There's a wrestling company out here, a mat wrestling company, and they did my first one for me. It was a
Mhm.
like a mechanical look. It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that's okay.
had that one for a little while. After that, I actually had one made by a lady out in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
I'm like my memory's getting so bad. Um, Gear Gal Wrestling Gear is the company.
Okay.
She custom did the recent one that I have, the black and with the red blood splatter across it that says "Suplex
Mhm.
the World." Um,
Mhm.
she's that's the one I've been currently wearing. I'm working on getting some couple more made up. It's probably gonna be along the same design, just different colors and stuff. Um,
Mhm.
but that's so far that's who's been doing my gear. And as far as like everything else, the boots I get from Automix, I order those from it's pretty reputable MMA company. And then the my kick pads I get from Asami, who was actually the same
Mhm.
ones that did like CM Punks and some of Samoa Joes and stuff like that. It's a
Mhm.
Japanese brand. But yeah, that's kind of all the gear that I get right now. So
Yeah. What's your favorite colors? Because my favorite color is blue.
Favorite colors, probably orange and green, honestly.
Okay.
I probably won't never use orange though in my gear because
No.
I get compared to Taz so much that I'm like, man,
No.
I don't want to use orange in there too and get even more compared to him. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's a compliment to be like, yeah, dude, you remind me of Taz, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to be my own person too. So yeah.
Mhm. But you know what would be interesting is if your next singlet can be like maybe a little blue, but not, whole blue.
Uh-huh.
This blue is my new blue has always been my favorite color. I get so many compliments every time I wear like navy blue, royal blue, all this, and I be getting many compliments about that.
Yeah, I was
And
actually
you
thinking of adding some blue to one of the designs that I had coming up. So one of them, I'm pretty sure is gonna have some blue in it. So yeah, we'll have a little bit on there. We got
Yeah,
to stick to the dark colors though, because the dark colors just
yeah,
seem to go in more with the I beat people gimmick.
yeah, yeah. Stick with the dark. You can still stick with the dark colors and add a little, you know, it's just a train of thought, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So so now um not many years ago you had a match against with Brodus Clay.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you tell me about how that match went? Because I want to know. Because Brodus Clay is a big guy.
Yeah, that match went with a whole lot of me trying to just chop a big dude down and very large man. Like he's lost weight since then, yeah, which I'm is awesome. I've been following his stuff and he looks great. Like he's been losing weight,
Mhm.
toning up and stuff and and he's at that time he was pushing close to 500 pounds.
Uh,
And he's 6'8". He's a huge man. And
mhm,
like I didn't realize, like, I knew how big he was from his stats, but I didn't realize how big he was until I seen him in person. Like, his
mhm.
head is just massive. Like, it's just huge.
Look like it's
um,
gonna bust.
yeah, yeah. And, but yeah, going out there, it was like I said, a whole lot of, me just trying to chop a big guy down. And then at the end, it's the big suplex, the big German suplex, which, I honestly wasn't sure if I could get him over at the same time. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna suplex this guy. It's gonna happen one way or another.
I
Um,
remember I remember seeing you tweet some GIF photo of you suplexing him. That's damn sure impressive.
yeah, I think I kind of even shocked myself because if you see the little clip that I posted of me suplexing him, like I even have this shock look afterwards, like holy crap, I did it.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like that the video though it doesn't even do the justice of the reaction from the crowd. The crowd just like exploded when I did that, and
Hmm.
nobody was expecting it, and it was really cool. Um, I mean, ultimately, Brodus got me at the end, and he ended up walking away with the win. But Brodus is a awesome dude, and Tyrus
Yeah.
Brodus, but yeah, he's a really good guy, and had a lot of fun, going head to head with him, and I enjoy those fights. I enjoy the ones where we're like beating the hell out of each other, and it's the more
Hmm.
challenging it is for me, the more I enjoy it. So
Uh-huh. And I believe last year or a couple years ago before the pandemic, you also had a lot of great match by the name of John Rockford, I believe, Johnny Rock,
yep,
and you
yep.
had a lot of great match with them. And I actually watched that on YouTube, and I say, oh my God, that's a great match.
I
So,
appreciate it, man.
mm-hmm. So, so how did that match went about?
John Rockwell, like we've had me and him have had quite a few matches. So um I mean, usually they're always pretty physical. Like he likes to get like rough with me, which I'm cool with. And yeah, I mean, it was anytime we usually me and him end up getting in a match, it's usually pretty rough back and forth. So it gets kind of fun. So, but like I said,
Mhm.
I enjoy that stuff. Especially doing martial arts background and everything else. Like, I'm one of those people that I'm going out there and I'm gonna put on a. I don't usually say a wrestling match anymore. I say this is a fight. So because that's my style
Mhm.
is a fight. So yeah.
Yes, I could tell. And also, you had a couple run-ins with the Buns of Steel, Jay Fuller.
Yep.
Now, you got to tell me what was that match is about because this Jay Fuller, he's one good damn wrestler.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a good dude. He's a good wrestler. He's very athletic. Um, Yeah, yeah, those it's always fun to have that dynamic to be in a match and wrestle somebody that's not your style because then you have to adapt to, being able to compete with this guy. Um, and that's one of those things with Fowler. Like Fowler is a high flyer, and he does all these cool stuff, and being able to adapt to that style is, is fun to me. Like
Mhm.
it's just like preparing for a fight with somebody that's got completely different, martial arts style. You gotta learn how to adapt and work with those styles, and it's enjoyable. I enjoy those matches probably just as much as I do the physical matches. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay. And so my next question to you is, if it were up to you, who would you like to face in the ring when this pandemic settles down?
Oh man, there's I have a lot of dream matches. Like honestly, um, I mean, I've been out there wrestling all over the place already, and it's
Mhm.
and the pandemic hasn't even chilled completely out yet, and I'm already traveling and hitting the road pretty hard. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, a few matches that I want to still have under my belt. Is well, one, I want to go to Bloodsport. I don't know if you're familiar with Bloodsport. Bloodsport is the MMA wrestling combination. It's ran by Josh Barnett, former UFC or fighter. Um,
Okay.
and I really would just want to compete on the show, and got something to prove that, I can go in there and kick ass with some of the baddest guys that are in wrestling right now, that have awesome martial arts backgrounds or came from UFC or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
let's see. And then the three that I can think of, right, actually, four I can think of right now that I really would love to have. I want to match with Trevor Murdoch. He is one of my original trainers, so I think it'd be amazing to be able to have that match with him. I've gotten a match with Derek Stone, and I'd like to get one with Trevor and put on a good match with him.
Mhm.
I also want to face Rhino. I know Rhino's still taking
Yes.
it. I think me and Rhino would be pretty intense, and that'd
Mhm.
be another one of those physical matches. Um, and let's see. Recently, I heard Samoa Joe got released from WWE, so he's gonna. I'm
Woo!
maybe going back to the indie scene. I'd love to face Samoa Joe. I talk
You
about the
versus
dream match.
Samoa Joe will be a great match.
And then the last one I can think of is get in there with the legend Ken Shamrock. I would love to,
Oh my God.
be in there with Ken Shamrock. He's a lot of these guys were huge influences to me growing up. So being able to have that opportunity to be in there and wrestle with them, it'd be amazing. So and all those guys that I named off, I feel like we'd have physical matches. Even Trevor's an old school brawler. So I think it'd be I think these matches would be pretty intense, and the fans would get their money's worth. And yeah, yeah. So those are the ones that I'm looking for, man.
Yeah. And you know something, Kurt? I got four wrestlers that I want to see you face. Ah, I'm going to name one of them. One of the wrestlers I would love to see you face is Garrison Creed. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yep, yep. I know Garrison.
Oh, you versus Garrison Creed. That will be a great match.
Yep.
Great match. Second match, my dream match, who I would love to see you face. I don't know if you heard of him or not. The revolutionary Bill Williams. Because he also does MMA stuff
Hmm.
too. So you versus Bill Williams, we gotta get this booked. We gotta get this match booked because Bill Williams, he's a tall guy. He's
Hmm.
lean and he's athletic. He has a lot of tattoos. He's a heckler. He's a heckler, so you better watch out. He's a heckler. And oh my goodness, you versus him, I'll be filming the match if that were to come to fruition.
Mm.
And also, who I will love to see you face, Danny Duggan. Hot shot Danny Duggan.
Yep, yep.
Oh my goodness. You two will tear down the house. I don't know if the ring, I don't think any wrestling promotion can be able to handle that because Danny Duggan is one tough wrestler and you got a MMA background. So you two will tear down the house. Not just on the house, probably tear down the ring. So, I did said four, but I'm gonna add one more.
Hmm.
You know who I would love to see you face?
Who's that?
Darren Corbin.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Darren Corbin. Oh my God, he's a comedian. Okay, when he's in the ring, he's a comedian. I can handle his when he's a heel.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, he's like a comedian. And when he's a baby face, he can. I don't like him as much as a baby face too much. I like him as a heel. But if you were to face him though, oh my God, you'll be like a heel. But I like you as a heel though. I don't see you much as a baby face. I like to see you more as a heel.
You'd be surprised, man. Like I even as you know, being a heel, like I get cheered, and I think people just like that tough guy persona. And you know, and here lately I've actually been booked quite a bit as the face, and it's been fun. Like, you know, I have a very intense, aggressive, you know, persona.
Hmm.
So you know, I get the crowd fired up, man. Like, you know, and you know, I know a lot of people don't like Goldberg, but you know, I always said Goldberg had one of the like the top like intensities, like they got people pumped, and you know, I stole a little bit of that from him, and I'm like, it works. So you know, but you
Hmm.
know, I made the joke the other day. I'm like, man, I was like, I wish I would never start doing the intensity stuff because now I know why Goldberg only has like 5 minute matches because I'm blowing up before like, you know, from the just during the intensity. So
Uh-huh. And also too, when Sting came out of retirement, people were starting cheering for him, getting high fives and everything. And when Goldberg came back, everybody just booed him, hated him. You should have seen some of the stuff that people said on Twitter about Goldberg returning. It's like you got this one individual says, "Oh my God, he's too old. He's too old. He should be home with his wife and his kids." And I was like, "Oh my God, you should have seen some of the stuff. These people are pretty unpredictable.
yeah, people
Unpredictable, man."
people give me something else. But you know, what's funny is like, you know, even though there's so much hate on him, you know, the guy still sells more merch than almost anybody in WWE. It's a known fact, and you know, and people
Mhm.
still tune in when he shows up because he still draws. I mean, you know, whether you like him or not, like it's just the way it is. He will always be a draw, whether people like it or not. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Brock Lesnar shows up. Brock Lesnar shows up, it'll always be a draw. You know, people will still
Hmm.
tune in, and the ratings always go up to prove it.
Hmm.
Uh, like I
But
said
he
with you,
needs. But Brock Lesnar needs to get rid of Paul Heyman. Period. Paul Heyman just needs to leave. But you know what I like about Paul Heyman is he'll tell it to your face. And Paul Heyman is no, he's a loudmouth. He's a loudmouth, like Jimmy Hart is. But
yep,
Jimmy Hart, I like the man. Jimmy Hart, I got so much respect for because he knows how to, tone it down a little bit. But when I'm talking about Paul Heyman, he'll talk all freaking night. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to grab my TV and just slam it.
Yeah, yeah, you want to know what though? If I got the opportunity to have Paul Heyman be my manager, I'd be totally okay with that. Like Paul's the man when it comes to like being on the mic.
I can see you wearing a Paul Heyman t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of t-shirts, Petey Brown, I don't know if you know Petey Brown.
Hmm.
He's been telling me that I should do a lot of episode of Michael's Corner, um, showing people all the t-shirts that I got from all the wrestlers.
That'd be pretty
And
cool.
I, Curt, I got your t-shirt too.
Hmm.
I got about 70 or 80 t-shirt wrestling shirts. It wouldn't fit in my closet in my room, so I have to put it in the other room because that closet was so big. And 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 it's like I gotta put all that stuff in the other closet. So I'm gonna take Petey Brown's suggestion and do a lot of episode where I'll show everybody all my wrestling shirts that I got. And I also have an action figure collection.
There you go.
Oh my God, I got about thousands of action figures. Oh yes, and I got the Charlotte Flair action figure. The one that has the WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania 30 something.
Hmm.
Yep, with her gear and whatnot. And her I got her action figure for WrestleMania when she faced Asuka. I didn't like that. I didn't like the gear that she wore.
Hmm.
So I had to get that. But the next one I'm gonna get is the ultimate Charlotte Flair action figure where
Hmm.
she has the robe that has the peacock, but it's the pink robe.
Hmm.
And they got the peacock design on it. And the action figure is a little huge. And I'm gonna buy that because I'm a huge Charlotte Flair fan. And I'm a fan of Ric Flair.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're he's like one of the greats. Two-time Hall of Famer. Can't beat that. And
No, no.
so like when you're not wrestling or whatnot, what do you like to do? I think we touched base on this earlier in the interview, but
Hmm.
what do you like to do on your off days? Your personal time.
Sleep.
Yes.
No, I try to spend time with my girlfriend as much as I can. She's actually sitting right in the room with me right now. We don't get to spend a whole lot of time together, our work schedules and everything else. And then of course, I don't consider the gym off time. Gym's work to me. So some people find that, fun. I don't always find it the most fun. I'm like, it's work. So like, I don't even consider that off time. Um, I love, training martial arts in my free time. And then that's about it. And then, like I said, most of the time I just want to be home. Like, I can get at home with spending time with the girlfriend and then, and our cats.
Oh yes. Oh
That's
yeah.
my spare time.
Thinking of your cats, how's your cats doing?
Good, good. We adopted a second one just what 2 or 3 months ago, and Yeah, they've been really good. They adapted to each other really quick, and then she's 3, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then our other one, he's just turning a year. We adopted him, literally almost a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they're doing really good, and you know, I think everybody kind of laughs because me being the way I look and as big as I am, everybody laughs that I'm a cat guy, but I've always
Well,
liked
let's
cats.
talk, Kurt. Let's talk about your cat, about your old cat. You was close to your cat, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and and you know that yeah, and you was telling that he was having some health problems and whatnot. And how did you feel when your cat passed away?
Oh, it wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. It was like it was almost like losing a family member. I had him through like the tough times and stuff, and and there was a point, where things got a little tough, and he was kind of all I had. So, it was not the best feeling. So yeah, it was like I said, it was like losing a family member. So it
Yeah,
actually took a while before I wanted to get another cat, and I'm glad I did because I'm attached to these two, and
yeah.
um, so yeah, yeah.
And I
So.
just want you to know something, man. Just because one, just because that your cat is not with you anymore,
Hmm.
that cat is still with you in cat heaven, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just so glad that you're doing good. You're doing good because I can see it in your face that you're
Mhm.
doing good. So now my one last question I'm going to ask you because I know you got stuff to do. I don't want to, you know, stuff to do because you and I we got stuff to do. But let's talk about your tattoos right quick.
All right.
Oh my God, dude! How many tattoos do you have?
Uh, um, let's see. I've got these on my hands. This is for my grandparents. They passed away a few years ago. I was really close to them.
Hmm.
I've got my forearm one. I just had that done not too long ago. The
Oh,
writing
I
I already
saw the
had.
yeah, I saw
Um,
the post.
so I had that one done, and then I've got one that goes up on my shoulder, up to my neck, and goes down
Hmm.
half my arm. You can kind of see it
Oh,
here.
oh yeah.
Um,
I think I
then
like that. I like
the
that.
the inside's one that I had done probably about a year ago. I'm
Hmm.
eventually going to end up sleeving this whole arm out. I keep
Hmm.
saying that I don't want to sleeve the right arm, but the more I keep adding to it, I'm like, oh, there's blank space. It looks weird. I should just get more tattoos. So,
Hmm.
and then I've got one on my back. I've got a cross on my back.
Okay.
It's got like gargoyle looking wings on it. It's kind of cool. So yeah. But yeah, I've got most of my tattoos are like very big, so I can't really like can't say like how many I have because they've all just starting to collage together.
Okay now. I see.
So
Hmm.
they're just turning into great big tattoos now. So
Hmm. All right. Usually when I end this interview, I like to ask them, where can people follow you on social media?
I actually have a Twitter. I actually have Instagram and then Facebook. Twitter is at Suplex the World. You can follow me on there. I in the past I haven't been the most active on Twitter. I've gotten a lot better at that. So if you get on
Okay.
there, send me a follow. Also, you can get on here at Instagram at CG Suplex Cyclone. Um, and then on Facebook, I've got a personal page. You can add me on there. It's under Curt Gannon. Then I've also got a like page where you can add me on there as well and follow the page.
Hmm.
I have some people kind of help me run that. So that's if you can't, I'm starting to fill up on my personal page. So more than welcome people like me on my like page. So yeah.
Hmm. And then Facebook changed one thing, like if like if you're out of like your reach of 5,000 people, they can then people can click the follow button, you know.
Yep.
They got
Yep.
this follow button. So then that way they can just see all your postings and whatnot. Because usually most of your postings on your personal is kind of public anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they so yeah. So yeah, yeah. So like and they can also message you on Messenger too.
Yep.
So that's it's a good app. That Messenger is a good app. I use that every day.
Yeah, and I
So
always tell people if you want to shoot me a message, you're more than welcome to. If I don't get back to you right away, I promise I will. I just have a very, very, very busy life, and
mhm,
like like I've told you, like if you message me, if I don't get back to you right away, I eventually will get back to you. So,
mhm. And I say take your time, you know. Take your time. I mean no rush.
yep, yep,
So okay, well Curt, thank you so much for taking your time to do this interview with me.
yeah, for
And
sure.
and you know what? Let me know if you want to be back on here again. If you got something up on your sleeve, you know. And if you want to be on Michael's corner to reveal it, please let me know. And
Will
I'll
do
get
for
you
sure,
on.
man.
All right. Well, Curt, you have yourself a nice Mother's Day weekend, okay?
All right, you too, man. Thank you for having me on.
All right. You take care.
All right, bye bye.
Yeah, bye. That was a nice interview. Oh, I'm telling you, that Kurt Gadden is one of the nicest guys I ever met. And you know, I can interview this guy all day and talk about random stuff, but you just all around he is a nice guy and you know, and he's one good wrestler to say the least. Okay, well, I'm gonna get off of here because it's Mother's Day, and you guys take care. Now, don't forget that this coming Thursday, I will be interviewing a wrestler by the name of Jerry, because you guys wanted me to interview him for the longest. So I'm gonna bring him on this Thursday around 7 p.m. No, 8 p.m. So take care, you guys, and I will see you guys